Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good to you. Welcome to the YouTube. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to you. And first and foremost, I'd like to thank you for your attention. Okay, your attention is the most valuable spiritual asset that you have. Today, we're going to talk about pride's deception, the deception of pride. And as we get along into this, I'm going to give you 3 ways that pride actually destroys your life. And I'm going to give you 1 way to actually fix pride, and not pride as in, look at what I've done. Well, actually, yes, kind of that, but it's deeper. The spiritual sin of pride, the arrogance of pride. I'm gonna actually give you a way to get out of it. And if you don't know, like, pride is one of the 7 deadly sins, but pride is ruled by a demon called Leviathan. Leviathan is not just a made up movie character. It's not anything, that you should really play with. Leviathan is a demon, and he is a ruler, a prince of hell. And I don't encourage anybody to ever really, worship this thing or do anything, think that pride, like this demon's going to be your friend and have your best interest in mind. You need Jesus in your life. You need God in your life. Okay, period. But here's the deal. Okay, pride. We're talking about pride. And again, thank you guys for joining. I am streaming to YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. You will be able to look at this live stream on my YouTube. Okay, it auto-populates after I'm done. So with that being said, let's get into it. Pride. What is pride? Well, pride is, it actually means the love of display. And of course, you're not going to experience, like, what the information I'm going to give you, you haven't heard this. Okay. So the word pride means the love of display. It means you love to display. Okay. And like the word, the demon that rules over greed is mammon. And, if people say, well, money is the root of all evil. Money's not the root of all evil. It's the love of money. The love of money is the root of all evil. So if you love money, you think that money can solve all of your problems. That means you're not turning to God for guidance. That means you have severed the intuitive branch that God had linked to you. So the love of display, you are making yourself an idol. This is pride. Okay. And loving the display, when you love your display, you see this almost every single day. Okay. You see this almost every single day. If you think that displaying your degrees, your certificates is something of value, it's only valuable to you. Right? I've seen many people online, and even walking into their office, they, for some reason, have to display their doctoral degree. They have to display their PMP. They have to display their CISSP. Why? Number one, it took a lot of effort. And we all can understand the school, extracurricular, I don't know how to say this. Collegiate type of schooling it requires extra effort. Your mom, your dad typically cannot force you into these types of scenarios. So it's all up to you. So if you got your bachelor's degree, your associates, your master's, your doctoral degree, it takes effort, extra effort, your effort. So then you want to display your effort. And displaying your effort, you want people to kind of congratulate you on your accomplishments. And this is pride. It's pride. Okay. The love of display. That's one way you can quickly assume this person is battling Leviathan. Another way is, you see people online leading with their sexual energy, like pornography. That is very clear why they are there. That is the love of display. They love displaying themselves. The love of display. They are people who love to display their accomplishments, their bodies, to display like love. And I mean love, love, love. They are like almost obsessed with it. They are making themselves like an idol. Like they are idolizing themselves. And they are kind of asking for a following. On social media, there is a lot of questions about how do I grow my followers? How do I grow my followers? And my first question to them is, why? Like, do you have a business that you are trying to, like funnel these new followers into? Or do you just want the number of followers to increase? Are you trying to get on TikTok Shop? Are you trying to get paid with YouTube ads or, all the vanity metrics? If you want payment, okay, that might be different. But a strong might. I do know that if you just want the followers to kind of brag about how successful you are, that's pride. Leviathan, you're being tormented by Leviathan. And don't think that demons feel good, okay? Feel bad, actually, excuse me. Demons almost certainly don't feel bad. That's the truth. Most demonic activity is actually very pleasing. This is why it takes discernment. It's required for you to ever defeat these demons. Like pride, when somebody says, Kyle, I'm so proud of you. You just scored a goal in soccer or whatever your name is. Like insert your name. Jessica, I'm so proud of you. You just won the chess game. Did you know that the word proud it means the same thing as pride? So either I can walk or I can sprint. Both are still motion using my feet. Okay. Pride and proud are the same thing, just at different speeds. So proud is when you have committed the sin of pride. And quite literally, the definition of the word proud means you have committed the deadly sin of pride. You have committed the sin of pride. Congratulations, I'm proud of you. It's like I'm acknowledging this this love of display in you. I'm so proud of you. So don't worry, your intentions do not outweigh the design. So if you ever feel, well, you know what I mean, So when you say I'm proud of anybody about what they have done, you're cursing them. Actually, you are cursing them. You and it doesn't matter your intention. It matters about the design of the spell that you are casting out. So, um, your um, like the love of display is not humble. Okay, showing everybody that you have a doctoral degree is not humble. Like, you know, shaking your butt online is not humble. Okay, and actually, people think that pornography and all this sexual stuff online, women that shake their butts and the men that lick their lips and do all this crazy stuff. People think that that is actually lust, and lust is ruled by a demon called Asmodeus. No, lust does not rule pornography or anything like sexual, like overtly sexual like that. What? How do I know? The love of display. The love of display. Okay, um, like the women who it's evident they'll lead with their sexual energy first. Um, it's because they love the display. That's Leviathan. That's pride. Okay, that's pride. And another telltale sign of if somebody is being tormented by Leviathan is if they are they're following. If they have a following of arrogant people, meaning people, or excuse me, not arrogant. If they have a following of people who flatter, and flattery is not a good thing, but it feels very good. What is flattery? Well, to flatter, it means to give undue praise. So when you praise me for something that I don't deserve, um, that's flattery. But there's a process of flattery that you need to understand. So pride, the love of display. If I am, leading with my sexual energy, um, you you will always be able to tell by my following. Are they giving me praise that I don't deserve? Okay. I don't ever ask for any gifts. I don't ever ask for anything. Okay. I have resources. If you are asking for help, or you're trying to get a service or coaching, like into one of my coaching programs, I have that. Um, but flattering is when you give somebody undue praise. And if I receive your praise, that's not undue. So for example, if you say, Kyle, you have a wonderful you have wonderful hair on your head. Okay, clearly everybody can see that I shaved my head. I've been shaving my head for several years now. Several almost a decade, I think. I don't know. Um but what ends up happening is, like over time, if everybody continues to say that thing that I did not deserve, now I become arrogant. Okay, now I become arrogant. Now the word arrogant means, to give oneself undue praise. So I'm praising myself with with something that I don't deserve. So in this silly example about me having a great hair, I might say to myself, well, all of my strands that I have left on the top of my head, they're just made of gold. Kyle, you have the best hair possible. Only an arrogant person can easily be possessed by Leviathan. Okay, Leviathan requires an arrogant person. Okay, I'll say that again to the people in back. Leviathan, the demon who rules pride, requires a person that is arrogant. If you are arrogant, you are not modest, you're not humble, and then arrogant people are the only type of person that must love their own display. This is why the people online who are leading with their sexual energy, trying to distract you, trying to get you to buy their OnlyFans, men or women, what ends up happening is they themselves are arrogant. As soon as you challenge and their stance, why are you degrading your family name like this? You do know this stuff cannot be taken back. Once online, always online. The moment you challenge people who are leading with their sexual energy, their display, they often protect themselves. And how? They start arguing with you. Well, you're not my, who made you? Like, so they start arguing. And this leads me into another like thing about pride is pride, the requirement for pride to propagate. If you don't know what propagate is, well, I have a lot of plants in my house. So I can like take a cutting from one plant and basically put that into the soil, and it grows a whole new type of plant, or like a whole separate plant. But it's like, so that's what propagating is, or propagation. So for Leviathan to propagate, argumentation is required. You need to argue. You need to be able to argue, or debate. Excuse me, not argue. Debating and argument are two different things, and a lot of people don't understand the difference, but I'm going to tell you now. Okay, debate, it means to fight or to quarrel. Okay, to fight or to quarrel. So people often are casting spells in an incorrect way. So like when you are intellectually trying to solve a problem with your husband or your wife, that's not called a debate. That's called an argument. Okay? Because an argument, or to argue, literally, the word argue, it literally means your intellectually jousting for dominance. Okay, so just be a little cognizant of that. So, but to have Leviathan continue, for the demon of pride to spread, and a debate must happen. A verbal, emotionally charged conversation out of anger has to happen. Okay, well, you did this, well, you won't listen to me, well, this and that. Leviathan is here. Okay, pride is here, arrogance is here. Okay, giving yourself too much credit is here. Okay, and you'll see it with these online like podcasts. They're super emotionally charged. The topics are outlandish about how women are this, how men are this, and what ends up happening is you're sucked in. You want to join. You want to give your 2 cents. Okay? And it just ruins your whole spirit in the moment. You may have just been on a little lunch break, but now you go back to work talking about how men need to do this and how women need to be better. It's like now the spirits, the spirituality of your workplace is thrown off because of what you read. And now Leviathan travels. Okay, this is how the spirit of Leviathan travels through emotionally charged conversations. You know, um, like emotionally, as in like anger, bitterness, frustration, rage, wrath. Okay. Um, so Leviathan, okay, the love of display, it also produces another type of energy, envy. It produces envy. Okay. So this is how I also know that people who lead with their sexual energy online, it doesn't even have to be like men or women who are in pornography. It could be like the men or women who you know show their body online, you know, and we all know who we're talking about. Yes, they physically probably are very handsome. They're probably very pretty. Okay, this has nothing to do with their actual appearance. Um, when you are observing, okay, let's say you are attracted to women, okay, and you are observing a woman online who starts their the post on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, whatever, and they start the post by showing their butt in their swimming suit. Okay, we all know why she's doing this. Okay, but if you are attracted to women and you are also attracted to that woman, what ends up happening is envy. You then compare your life and think, why can't I have a woman like that? That's envy. And then when you say that or think that, what ends up happening is you spiritually are telling God that his provision is not enough. This is why envy is a deadly sin. Okay, you're telling God that his provision is not enough. So pride, when you observe the love of display, you are always you oftentimes experience envy. So in education, if I posted my doctoral degree, what would end up happening is you might look at your life and you might compare your life and say, you know, my, why can't I ever have, you know, like, or why didn't I make better decisions and then just go to college? You know, why couldn't I have done this? Like, that's envy. And you're also telling God that his provision in your life is not enough. So if you're envious, you cannot be thankful. You can't be thankful. Why? Because thankfulness it means to be content. Are you satisfied? If you're satisfied, you can be thankful. But far too often, people think to be thankful means that I need to win. Like, I need to have the energy of a win. You know, like, I just won the lottery. And it's like, I associate being thankful with the feeling of having that type of energy, that winning, so I need to be gifted something. And the gift needs to be obvious. Not only obvious, it needs to be outlandish. It needs to be above and beyond. Somebody, don't just give me one flower, give me a dozen roses. every single day, and then I'll be thankful. Okay? Don't just give me my 9 to 5. I need a business that makes, $15 billion a minute. Then I can be thankful. Okay? And then it kind of can flow into like greed. It's never enough. Okay? This is why, like in Revelations, it talks about the seven-headed beast. The seven-headed beast, because once you got one, you kind of got them all, and they just flow. So envy and pride, they are ruled by the same demon. Okay, envy and pride are ruled by the same demon. Okay, when you are looking or observing somebody else displaying some of their accolades, their accomplishments, or their sexual energy, the observation of that has spiritual consequences for you. Envy. You will always compare your life to what you are observing. Okay? And be seriously cognizant of this. So what your intellect takes in, you then it then shifts you. So if you eat nothing but sugar all day, your health, your physical body will shift. If you look at nothing but like murder shows all day, every day, guess what? You're going to be paranoid, going out. If you look at nothing but, pornography, don't be shocked if, you are having issues like maintaining healthy, loving relationships. Okay. All of that stuff, all of everything that you come in contact with shifts you. Okay. So pride, Leviathan. Pride is actually Leviathan is actually one of the 3 demons that make you procrastinate too. Okay. If you didn't know that, it's true. And I've written about it. I have a mini course on it. Okay. But here's the thing. Okay. So here's 3 ways pride destroys your life. 3 ways that pride destroys your life. 1, pride destroys your money. Okay. And if you stayed for this long, you're in for a treat. Pride, Leviathan, destroys your money. How? Pride makes you spend to be seen. Okay, pride is the love of display. It will make you buy things to prove your worth instead of you building actual wealth. So this is like if you are out here trying to buy the biggest car, like Leviathan tricks you into thinking status is wealth. And so you'll buy the yacht, you'll buy the cars, you'll buy all this stuff. The love of display. Okay? It will make you reject wisdom because you don't want correction. Okay? If I'm making sense, let me know, please. Okay? Pride keeps you broke by keeping you unteachable. And Leviathan hides in that resistance to instruction. Okay? So, pride destroys your money. That's one. The second way pride destroys your life is that pride destroys your relationships. Okay? Pride destroys your relationships. Okay? Pride needs to be right more than it needs to be whole. It refuses to apologize. It won't admit when it's wrong. It wants to be worshiped, not connected. So this is why I was telling you, the people who love the display, they are acting as God. They care more about the following than the actual healing of people. Okay? I don't care about the followers, in my TikTok, my YouTube, or any of my social media. I don't care. But I understand why people follow, because they may want to watch more of my content. I get that. So I don't want you to worship me. You only need to worship God, Jesus. That's it. Okay? So the prideful person, the arrogant person, only wants to be worshiped. They don't care about the connection. Pride blocks intimacy. All right? Pride blocks intimacy. Why? Because pride wants power, not love. Arrogant people want power. They don't want love. Okay? Leviathan does not need love. Why? Because love is God. And do you understand? Like, are you making the connection? Okay, when you are battling with these demons, you are possessed by them. It's kind of like you're sick in an aspect, and all of the bacteria in your body, it's making you feel a certain type of way, but it's becoming you. So when you are possessed, you are in essence building the kingdom of hell. So demons do not want God. So this is why when you are prideful, you do not want love, because God is love. So pride blocks intimacy. This is why it's required for Leviathan to spread by petty arguments, by debates, by these back and forth yelling sessions between you and your husband, you and your brother, you and your friends. You're screaming at people, strangers online, about who's right and who's wrong, and like the men and the women, and like who's better. It's like, you just need to be proven correctly. Okay? Leviathan spreads, but in a very clever way. In a very, very clever way. This is why this post is called Pride's Deception. The word clever, it means an expert thief. People use clever in the context of I'm smart, I'm intelligent, I know a lot of things, I can connect the dots really fast. No. Clever, it means you are very good at stealing things, even intellectual things, even emotional things, even spiritual things. So Leviathan is very clever. Okay? Very, very good at stealing you. And it takes discernment. Okay? So relationships crumble under the weight of Leviathan. And before I move on to the third way that pride destroys your life, many people are confusing Leviathan and Jezebel. Okay? Number one, Leviathan is a demon. Jezebel is a spirit. Okay? Leviathan is a demon. Jezebel is a spirit. Jezebel is not a demon. She's not. She can never be. So what is a demon? A demon is a fallen angel. You have to have been in heaven first in order to, and also an angel to have fallen. Not every angelic being is an angel. Okay, if I transition and make it into heaven, will I be an angel? Will I be tasked to do something in the 9 choirs of heaven? If you don't know what the 9 choirs of heaven, it's the opposite of the 7 deadly sins. Okay, the 9 choirs of heaven. but so Jezebel is a spirit um, that's evil. Okay. So Jezebel does not like attention. Leviathan requires attention. The thing behind narcissism is not Jezebel, it's Leviathan. Okay? Narcissists require attention, but uh, Jezebel does not require attention. Actually, she murders prophets. She murders teachers and apostles because they pay a unique type of attention that exposes her her evil ways. Leviathan requires attention. Narcissists require attention. The love of display. Okay. So Beelzebub, the Lord of the Flies. Okay, this is greed. Gluttony. That's gluttony. Okay, for you on TikTok. All right. So, with that being said, we're gonna move on to the third way pride destroys your life, and that's pride destroys your purpose. Okay, pride. Leviathan convinces you that your gifts are for you. Okay? Your spiritual gifts are not for you. Your spiritual gifts are for the people. Okay? Pride, Leviathan, especially for church folk, people like Christians, Catholics who go to church, or any type of church. You think that your spiritual gifts are for the church, that you can only heal people in the pulpit, that you can only heal people, at church. Well, don't the homeless people need you? Don't, the drunks need you? Don't the hopeless need you? Don't the people who are depressed need you? Don't the people who are orphans need you? Like, why do we think that our spiritual gifts are only for the church? It has never been that way, ever. It's never been that way. But Leviathan tricks people into thinking that you can only exercise the spiritual gift that God has given you inside of the church. Why? Because it's a clown show. You want to be seen. Again, the love of display. The love of display. Healing happens outside of church as well. Actually, more so outside of church. Exponentially more outside of church. Okay? Email me. So if you got any of my ebooks and you aren't able to open it, just email me, and I'll help you through it. Okay, I'll walk you through how to do it. I'll send it to you. Okay, all right. So pride destroys your purpose. It makes you build for display and not service. Okay, so people think that legacy is to be observed, all right, in family. So I need to build a legacy for my family. Why? Okay, why? So that everybody can see how great of a person you are, so that you can have a statue built in your city, like Martin Luther King, or Elvis, or whatever, Buddha. So like you think that legacy, that you need a legacy so that people can remember you. That's Leviathan working through you. Your legacy should be the purpose of your legacy is to continue your culture, your traditions, your family bloodline. Okay, your recipes, your family reunions, your conflict resolution. Giving honor to the elders in your family, several times a year, like 3 or 4 times a year. The whole family gets together and sends the elders of your family, like a DVD or a tape or like a message, a video, so that they know that they're loved. Okay. That's the legacy. Okay. But the legacy is actually in the systems that you create. People don't even have systems, so they're never going to have a freaking legacy. You're not going to have a legacy. You don't believe me? What systems are you creating? Often nothing. Why? Because you are in a system that somebody else created. Okay? What's your business? How many families are you serving? Meaning, how many employees do you have? None? You're not serving anybody. This is not legacy. And pride destroys your purpose. Okay? Pride, or Leviathan, tells you to protect your image instead of to confront your flaws. Okay? Especially online. It's so strange. Like we have access to over millions of people every single day with our phones. We have access to libraries in different languages, secret libraries in the palm of our hands. We have access to coaches, mentors, therapists in our hands, in your hand, and you still have issues. It boggles my mind to this day. You don't want to confront the ugly side of you, because by doing that, your image is going to be, or can be, in question. Well, actually, when the dark comes, when the hard times come, right? The boys that I am coaching in boxing, I sent them a message the other day in our group text message. I said, hey, when hard times come, you thank God for the soil. When hard times come, you thank God for the soil. It's what makes you. It's what makes you. It's the nutrients in the soil. It's when nobody's looking. It's when nobody cares about you. That's what makes you. You thank God for the soil. But if you complain about the soil, about the hard times, did you know that a complaint is demonic worship? When you are complaining about what God did not do for you, you're actually thanking a demon for their like the agony, the dysfunction, the confusion that they're providing you. Oh God, why can't you ever get me out of this financial slump? The demon's like, oh, I got more of that for you. I can do more for you. And here come those demons ruining your life. Why do you think, like, this? Idle lips are the devil's mouthpiece. That's what the Bible says. Idle lips are the devil's mouthpiece. If you're not verifying what you're saying, you're not verifying the spells that you're casting out. When you are complaining, you're thanking demons for doing their job. So hold your tongue. Okay? When the hard times are here, you thank God for the soil. Thank you, God, for the soil. Okay? Because guess what? That seed has to go through all that cow poop, all that manure, all that compost to become a beautiful flower. Be the rose that grew from concrete. Go through all the poop. Go through all the bad stuff. Get through it. Get through it. You'll be stronger when you burst through the soil. I promise you. So, here's one way to remove or battle Leviathan, spiritual warfare. Okay, I'm going to give you a spiritual warfare piece of artillery. Okay, you need to starve the argument. Okay, remember Leviathan, the demon who rules pride and envy, he spreads, he propagates through arguments, through this emotionally charged anger, the conversation of you're not right, I'm right, you're not wrong, you know, this and that. You have to be able to starve the argument. Remember, idle lips are the devil's mouthpiece. When you just have to prove your point, how arrogant are you? Okay? How haughty are you? You know? How high on your pedestal do you have to be to prove something that's not moving your purpose in the right direction? So you want to stop and sit online and argue about men, how men aren't being providers, or how women are not being submissive. How is that at all building your freaking business? How is this at all, helping the children that you're supposed to be, healing? You're ruining your purpose. Okay, and don't worry, God's not going to wait on you. God doesn't rush you. If you think that, God will give you chances after chance after chance after chance, guess what? You'll be dead before you realize, that you should have just did it the first time. So starve the argument. Starve it. If the argument is not necessary, if it's not needed in order for you to heal people, to spread the good gospel, to evangelize, to guide people, to pastor, to teach, okay? Starve it out, okay? Cut it at the root. Shut your mouth, literally. Shut your mouth. Don't type. Don't do anything. What you've got to do is walk away. And I mean that wholeheartedly. He grows stronger. Pride grows stronger when you feel the need to defend yourself. I've always said to all my students that are in my coaching program, pride is the protective demon. Leviathan is the protective demon. Okay? And did you know that Leviathan is like a sea serpent, like a big snake, like Godzilla, He twists your words and he requires that back and forth. Okay? So the need to defend yourself, to explain yourself, to prove yourself every time you argue to be seen, to be right, to be validated, you're feeding the demon called Leviathan. This is spiritual food for Leviathan. So just shut your mouth. The moment you refuse to argue, he begins to lose power. You're cutting off the source of the energy. And I promise you, just conduct an experiment. Now, it might not feel good for you, but guess what? Feelings are not your master. Okay? Put that in the comment section right now. Feelings are not my master. Emotions are not my master. And what ends up happening is you'll stop going with the freaking flow. When you go with the flow, that tells me you have no emotional intelligence. Going with the flow? Why would you make happiness your ruler? Why would you make sadness your ruler? I'm just going with the flow. I'm going with what feels right. What do you mean what feels right? Are you an adult? Are you an adult? Like, what is this? Cut it out. Make decisions in your life. Make decisions in your life. So, every time you feel the need to prove yourself right, you don't need to respond. You don't need to explain. You need peace more than you need to win. Okay? You need peace. You need that stillness, that center, that feng shui, that yin and the yang, that meditative state. So instead of arguing with them, you stand up, you walk away, and you say this out loud: I refuse to argue to be seen. When you are all alone, you say this out loud: I refuse to argue to be seen. Leviathan will hate this. I refuse to argue, meaning I refuse to spread you in order to be seen. Then you can also say, I don't serve pride, I serve purpose. And you only have one purpose, the purpose that God has given you. You serve purpose, you serve God. Okay, I don't serve pride. I don't serve pride. Look, I have a bald head. I don't serve pride. I serve purpose. I'm doing my purpose. I'm out here. Is it perfect? No, it's not. Of course it's not. The next thing you can say is, I break the spirit of Leviathan by choosing silence over strife. Leviathan cannot thrive where you choose peace over performance. I promise you, every single time. Every single time. Leviathan cannot thrive when you choose peace over performance. Okay? I really hope this has blessed you. Okay? I really sincerely hope that you found value in what has been said. Okay? I want to start talking to more of you one-on-one. And I want you guys to schedule some time with me. Okay? I'm feeling a calling to actually go deeper into the weeds with more of you. So schedule some time with me. Okay? But I sincerely hope this has resonated with you. Next week's topic is going to be compassionate healing. It's going to be about compassionate healing. Okay? If you want to listen to this stream again, you can go over to my YouTube after this ends, and you can look at it and listen to it while you're cooking dinner tonight. Okay? I really sincerely hope this has helped you. I really sincerely hope this has, blessed you. I really sincerely hope that you are walking in your purpose. I would love to help you walk in your purpose. And if you are interested, I am doing a VIP retreat for the founders, for the decision makers, for the leaders, for the business owners who can't, don't have the opportunity to get relaxation time, a spiritual reset. I'm having a VIP experience in Alaska. And if this is you, you can definitely email me or contact me somehow. And I I will give you the details on it. But I'll stay online for just a few more moments, looking for questions and comments. But if there is no more, I will just wait to leave. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your attention. Your attention is the highest valuable spiritual asset. Thank you for being here. Remember to talk to God today. Remember with your mouth, open your mouth, not in your mind. What's up, you Instagram? I see you. Remember to talk to God today. You must talk to God today. What's up, YouTube? I see you. Let me see. What's this question? How can I get in touch? You can email me at kyleWoodsLLC@yahoo.com, or if you're on YouTube, you can just go into the description. My email address is right there. Or if you want to schedule time, the link for scheduling time is also right there. My calendar is right there. I'm based on Earth. Okay. Thank you guys so very much. Okay. Thank you guys so very much for the love, for your attention. Well, this is this live stream is called Pride's Deception. Pride's Deception. Okay, guys. Without further ado, I must end it properly. If you didn't know,